Take two. I had to re-record this entire episode because I listened back, which I never do. And I was just being like way too much of a cunt. You know, like even for me, I was like, this is feeling like passive aggressive and I'd rather just be aggressive. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Bitch Bible Podcast. It is I. Oh, but you know what's so annoying is that in my first take, very randomly, like the guitar like made like a weird strumming sound. Also, another thing that we're going to have to deal with on this week's episode, I was injected T-minus 24 hours ago with so much Dysport, so much Botox, so much filler that I am suffering what can only be described as Stephen Hawking's facial paralysis. Did Stephen Hawking have? Why do I always say Stephen Hawking's? Now I'm going to have to re-record this again. It's not even a minute in and I'm talking about Stephen Hawking. It's really hard to just draw the line at G when I start talking about Stephen Hawking, which is not often, by the way. Do we need to start over? Okay. I have a lot of things in my face right now. And when I try to laugh, I frown and I drool a little bit. So if it's getting a little saliva heavy, we just have to give me grace this episode. I went yesterday and I said, Tanya, give me the good. Like, I want you to observe my face and do whatever you need to do to make me even barely more attractive. She said, I got you, girly. I said, I really am interested in filler contouring, like jawline contouring with filler. There we go. Red leather, yellow leather. Okay. She says, I'm more worried about symmetry than contouring for you. I said, hair down. She said, lovingly, your face is a bit asymmetrical, and I don't know that we should do filler on your entire jaw. I think we need to fill out the right-hand side for a more symmetrical look and then see how it lays. I said, okay. I got 110 units of a Dysport Botox combo platter. Okay. I got little plastic worms in my jawline, and all of you dumb toxic bitches who are like, it's the worst, don't do it, filler. You are okay. I'm being serious right now. You are such a fucking pussy. That was child's play. I don't give a fuck. Okay. You get a little numb and a little shoot. Does it feel like a literal worm is entering the epidermis of your skin? Yeah, but that's just a Friday in the Schimmelheifen-Haas house. Who fucking cares? Grow up or be ugly. Okay, those are your options. Buck up, Brittany, or just get uglier. It's not like, what's happening? Okay, so there is that. Secondly, I'm in a bit of a mood because I was looking forward to a Saturday sabbatical, and Andrew's been gone in Nashville, and I knew there was a storm a brewing because I'm like clicked into the internet, which Andrew is not. And I was privy to the fact that there was going to be like massive like winter weather, snowstorms, like severe weather, you know, not here, but in the middle of the country and elsewhere, New York, whatever. So Andrew's like, oh, I'm going to Nashville. And I say nothing because I'm like, it would be like kind of funny if he got like snowed in and then the power went out and he'd be like so just like useless and cold and like in the dark. And like, I don't know, things like that make me happy. So he's like, you know, the roads aren't built for this, the infrastructure in Nashville. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to be so cold. Shivers. And so he calls me Saturday morning and he's like, he was supposed to come home Sunday, but all the flights are getting canceled. Okay. And she's panicking because Andrew doesn't do well in a natural disaster, like really not well, like downward spiral. So he's like, we just came to the airport. We're getting on any flight we can to get out of Nashville so that I can get home because I don't want to get stuck here. I miss you and Clyde. And like, I just want to come home and see you. And I was like, ew, like loser, first of all. And I was just like looking forward to a day because my sister was going to have a sleepover with Clyde, who Clyde is obsessed with sleepovers right now. I mean, this kid is like, can I just say something? Toxic. Victoria Beckham, listen up. My son, Okay, that kid is the love of my life. He is so fucking perfect. First of all, gorgeous, most important. Secondly, like oddly so well behaved and respectful and like impeccable manners at a restaurant, like pleases, thank yous, like clears his plate, like pushes his chair and like is such a little fucking gentleman, okay, with an edge, and so resilient and adaptable and can like go with anyone and social and goes up to everybody and says hi and gives hugs, and he's like lovey and trusting and independent, like kind of cocky, and I'm just like in love with him, and no one will ever replace me in his eyes. Like I just know it. With that said, I wasn't going to share this because I'm trying to find like the line of sharing and like exploiting. And also like sometimes when I tell stories, I'm so worried that they're coming off as shtick when if anything, I'm downplaying them because I don't want to get in trouble. And I do like to keep certain things close to the vest, but I'll tell you. So Friday, I go and pick Clyde up from school. And by the way, the women that get so triggered in my DMs when I like talk about Clyde going to school, they're like, he's 2, it's daycare. And I'm like, you're ugly. I'm in a really bad mood. We'll get to it later. Oh God, the facial paralysis. Okay. So I pick up Clyde and the teacher's like, hey, can I talk to you for a sec? And I was like, oh, fuck me in the ass. I'm like, yeah, sure. What's up? And she says, Clyde today was going up to the family wall because there's this wall where they have pictures of like the parents, grandparents, pets, siblings, whatever. And he kept pointing to your picture and he kept saying, mommy's a bitch. And at first, I thought, oh, maybe he's saying, like, I was maybe trying to think maybe mommy's a snitch or mommy's a twitch or mommy's a whatever. And she's like, but he just kept saying it like really clearly, like, my mommy's a bitch, mommy's a bitch. And then some of the other kids started saying it. And then it became like a little game where they're all saying, my mommy's a bitch, your mommy's a bitch. And, we said, please, we don't use those words at school, but then he just kept saying it. So if we could try to work on him not cussing, like just because it incites the other kids. And I was like, oh my God, like, by the way, this is right after I got injected. So I'm drooling, foaming at the mouth, like full, whatever. And so I couldn't, thank God, laugh in the way that I normally would because I just like, I was so numbed up from the nostrils down. I don't know what kind of facial expressions I was making. And I was like, I'm so sorry about that. I have no idea where he could have picked that up. Meanwhile, I'm like, say cunt, say cunt, say fuck, say fuck. Oh God, I can't even. I'm going to have to re-record this again if I say what I really wanted to say. Anywho's, so, firstly, I'd just like to say, proud. Secondly, how do I course correct this? And I said to her, I'm like, listen, the way that the term bitch is used in my house is like very loving, very casual, like term of endearment, like not in layman's terms. Also, like, how do I differentiate? It is used very clinically in thy home. Like, yes, bitch. Like, we just talk like that. And I don't want to not cuss in front of him because that like makes it more taboo. But like, how do I explain? Also, this is not a cry for, it's not a cry for information. Like, I don't want anyone like sliding into my DMs telling me what I should do. Like, nothing pisses me off than a stranger telling me what to do. You know what I mean? If it's like coming from a loving, helpful place, but when people are like trying to course correct me, I get very defiant and I'm in a very bad mood because yesterday, post mommy's a bitch gate, my sister was like, let me take him for 24 hours. Why don't you have a day? Because I think Andrew's going to be snowed in. I'm going to have the house to myself. So what do? I go get Junior Mints. I go get caviar. I get a beautiful bottle. The T's are hard. The T's are hard. I get a beautiful bottle of Bill Lecarte Simone Rosé, and I buy a new blanket. I buy new pajamas. Like, this is like my girl dinner. Okay, close your eyes. I make floral arrangements every week for every room of my house, like a crazy person, like someone just died. Okay, my wounded inner child. Okay, a Shiva, if you will. And so the flowers are fresh and poppin', okay? Sometimes I go and I get a special little candle for my bedside, something that feels like a vacay, okay? I get a beautiful bottle of like my favorite whatever. We're doing caviar Caspia baked potatoes. Okay, now we're in France for the evening. I get a fresh pair of pajamas. They don't have to be expensive. Go to a TJ Maxx, go to a Nordstrom Rack, get a discount PJ salvage, a set, okay, a sensible set. I take a late afternoon jacuzzi. I take a shower. I put my fresh pajamas on. I have a fresh blanket, okay? I have a little silver tray with a little bowl, an artisanal bowl of Junior Mints, frozen, some like skinny bitch popcorn or whatever it's called, skinny cow popcorn, skinny girl popcorn, I don't know, skinny popcorn, okay, freshly popped in the microwave, a beautiful glass of Billicart salmon rosé, okay, I have 4 episodes of Tell Me Lies like locked and loaded, a fireplace, candles, quiet. It is 5 p.m. I am horizontal, and that's when Little Ricki, no, that is when Little Ricki gave birth. By the way, breaking news. How did it take me 12 minutes? Little Ricki had her baby. This episode is for Little Ricki. Wait, what? Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I just got so nervous. Wait, okay. Oh my God. Little Ricki had her baby. Hot ass Emily Maynard was there. She's in scrubs with a pink sweater draped over her shoulders, which I can't. Wait, Little Ricki baby. Oh, that's okay. That's not ringing any bells on the Google. Ricki, is it Hendrick? Baby. Oh, nope. That is a race car driver. What is her name? Ricki Maynard. Pregnant. Okay. Bachelorette, Emily Maynard's daughter, Ricki. Little Ricki. She gave birth to her first baby, a daughter named Romy. Ugh, adorable. Wow. Romy's a cute name, actually. Good for Little Ricki. Enjoy, Little Ricki. Take care of yourself, Little Ricki. I'm thinking about you. Little Ricki. Little Ricki. Little Ricki gave birth. Little Ricki has a baby named Little Romy. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you think it'll be too niche if Clyde and I go as Emily Maynard and Little Ricki for Halloween next year? Like, will you imagine? Trick or treat? Oh my God, I love your costume. What are you? I'm Emily Maynard from 2007's The Bachelorette, ABC's franchise, and this is my son dressed as Little Ricki, and he's just in like a one piece with goggles in the Bahamas with a nanny. Little Ricki! I can't explain Little Ricki to someone that doesn't listen to this podcast. Like, you just can't. It's for us. It's for the girls. Wait. We need to talk about Taylor Swift and Blake Lively's text exchanges. First of all, I'm not going to bore you with reading all of them because I feel like every podcast has already tackled it. This is old news. I have a few takeaways. The internet exploding about like Taylor Swift, like casually calling someone a little bitch is so like, we need to zoom out. Like, this makes me like her more. Also, like on the Richter scale, this is a fucking 1. If you are talking to your best friend, okay, which by the way, the language, let's deep dive that for a second. If you knew the text messages that I sent my best friend, Max, I mean, like, they're never more than a sentence. They're usually one word. They're usually dripping in slurs, you know, like I'm just going to show you one text message that I sent my best friend, Max. This is why I'm going to have to read this. Let's just give it a little scroll here. Okay. Pick up, faggot. That's a text from me to my best friend. So just like slightly different. Slightly different in tone and length. The way that they are texting each other, specifically Blake Lively to her best friend, the godmother of her children, in this flowery essay, length, like trilogy, myopic, like syrupy. The language is so weird. I don't know if it's like nerdy or like celebrity-ish, but like celebrity, like that's not even that feels condescending to like celebrities. You know what I mean? Like it's not even like a thespian, like it's not drama nerd. It's like, it's so weird. It's so contrived. It's so maniacal. It's diabolical. It's like textual warfare. It's so, premeditated and precise, but also like vague. Their text messages are so weird. And I love Taylor Swift for saying like, her being like, hey, I feel like there's been some distance between us. I want to make sure everything's okay. And always referencing Ryan. And his language is so disgusting as well. I mean, the way that he texts, like inverted vagina. I'm not a Ryan Reynolds person. I don't think he's fuckable and I don't think he's funny. And they both have this like nervous energy. Like, you guys are massive celebrities. Like, why are you trauma dumping on everybody about this movie that's like hardly The Godfather? Okay. It's not a movie that's going to, unfortunately, you know, the messaging is powerful, but like the delivery on its best day was not going to change the course, especially when you hijack a press tour and you make it about leave-in conditioners, okay, which are a little fragrance heavy, if I do say so myself. Did I pick up the extreme moisture mask? It's a little heavy on the sandalwood, Blake. Okay, it's a little like my pillows smelled of cedar plank, and I'm not into it. A little heavy on the Santal. Okay, whatever. The language is so odd. And I have such respect for Taylor Swift basically being like, yeah, things are weird. You've been talking to me like you're sending a corporate email. Okay. And the we of it all, like, I just want my normal friend back. I thought that was like very clear, concise, and kind. I mean, granted, like, I would call up my best friend and be like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, what is this? Stop sending me paragraphs. What's going on? Calm down. Like, I'm on a fucking tour right now. I don't have time to deal with your glorified Lifetime movie, okay? And the theatrics. Like, sorry, bitch. Like, we can't trust you. You wore 6 pairs of pants. You look like you got electrocuted, okay? Out of Free People. And we're supposed to, like, trust your vision? We don't. And like, handle your own business. Don't have me looming in a foyer to try to like use my celebrity and power to like control your fucking pay-per-view movie. Shut up. You're so annoying. Zoom out, Blake. Zoom the fuck out. And that he's a cult leader and he's this and he's that, like doing too much. Stop bothering Matt Damon's wife. Okay, stop bugging Ben Affleck about your fucking movie. Okay? Like, we get it. You took over the costume department. Guess what? You didn't fucking nail it. Why the hell is Lily Bloom, struggling florist, wearing $5,000 Saint Laurent boots, okay? And a Miss Frizzle wig? We don't trust you. I will say, nerd alert, sound the alarm when Taylor Swift says to Blake Lively, you're the coolest person I know and you like me, or something like that. I was like, oh my God. You know, the most famous people in the world, they can also be nerds. Like, I fuck with Taylor Swift hard, but she, at the end of the day, is just like, and I mean this as a compliment, like a nerd with an ashy bang. You know what I mean? And Blake Lively wants to be a nerd. She presents as like, I'm just like a nerdy bitch, but like not even. She's just kind of like maniacal. And she this is the universe being like, nah, Blake, we're good. Like, just DTL, dim the lights. You're gorgeous. You're rich. Stop it. Stop trauma dumping on these hoes. It's so insane. Oh my God. And wait, this is my only takeaway from the text messages, okay? Which is like, yes, is it violating having your text messages? Like, by the way, you want to have the time of your life? If my text messages went public, you're fucking welcome. I'd be like, yep, said it, don't regret it. I mean, it would be toxic and like deplorable, but incredible. And honestly, I feel like I would barely blink. I'd be like, yeah, release them. Who fucking cares? When Ryan Reynolds sends Colleen Hoover his essay about the movie, and like, despite all of the toxic environment and this and Jason Baldani, and you know, you persevered in this. And when he says something like, I heard you and your family got a little tummy bug. Hearing a man say tummy bug, I will never, my vagina literally fused together and I no longer have lady parts. Like that, like, so deeply unfuckable. I heard you and the fam got a little tummy bug. Little tummy bug. And all of just the fact that all of their emails and text messages are like, that's my summer reading. Like I've never like full pages, and it's all like, it's 90% like compliments. It's so psychologically taxing and it's so contrived. It is so therapized. It is so intentional. It is so manipulative. Speaking of manipulative, can we talk about Amanda Francis once again? Woof, woof, we're naming the puppy. I watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this week, and they go to dinner, and this is like sensitive subject matter. They go to dinner at Rachel Zoe's house, and they're having like a tarot card reading and healers and whatever. And it's on the anniversary of Amanda Francis and the loss of her 5-day-old son, which is awful and devastating. She tells none of the other ladies until she is confronted by Dorit, and then decides to share that today is the anniversary that she lost her son, and that this, you know, these conversations are hurting her and it's insensitive. And this is going to be a take that is going to be hard to digest. I think that holding that information from the other women and then bringing it up after you are confronted, which is what Housewives is all about. I thought Dorit handled it fairly well because she didn't immediately backpedal, because I think it's really, really manipulative and diabolical to withhold that information and then drop it in the middle of a conversation, because it's like insinuating that it's dirty. It's playing dirty. And I did not like that at all. But like, also two things can be true at the same time. Like, also feel terrible for her, but like maybe she should have just stayed home, or maybe she should have shared that from the fucking jump so that the women could have operated themselves at that dinner with more empathy and like kid gloves, knowing that she was going through a hard time. But like, you can't play smart and stupid. You can't play aggressor and victim at the same time. Like, you have to, like, that's not a smart person. Sorry. Speaking of which, everyone is on the edge of their seat. Jackie, were you at Kyle Richards' famous white party? I was not. I was invited, obviously, because I'm a hoot and a half of a time. And I really just like would like to say this as a public service announcement. Everyone should invite me to everything, because I am reptilian in nature. I get along with everybody. You can throw me into a room with anybody, okay? Like your methy brother or like Martin Scorsese. I float beautifully in a room. I don't overstep. I ask questions. I connect. I don't operate. I'm not like I'm connect on a real level. I'm never trying to like operate a room, which I think is really refreshing in this business. And also, like, one thing about Jackie Schimmel, okay? One thing about me that you better fucking write down is that I am not even slightly thirsty. Let me take a sip of my matcha out of my green straw. I am hydrated on a cellular level. L's are hard. T's are hard and L's are hard because there's just not a lot of movement in the lower half of my face. What happened is, you know, a weekday is hard. And, oh, I didn't land the plane. Invite me everywhere, but I'm probably not coming. Okay, you should just know that. But for me to slink my body in a Wednesday at 8 p.m., okay, I have a 2-year-old in like a polyblend gown, okay, to go like rub elbows and seen and be seen. Like, let the stars shine and let the rats eat cheese. Okay. Like, you don't need to see me in the background of, you know, the founding fathers of the Real Housewives franchise. Like, you don't need to see me like slinking around, like trying to rub elbows. That is not my style. Okay. And I have done so much cool shit, and you'll never hear about it, and I'll never hit you with a reel about it. You know why? Because I'm fucking cool like that. You should know. Let these hoes know I'm fucking cool like that. Okay. So did I get a real sense of longing when I saw Countess Luann perform Money Can't Buy You class on a zip line in Kyle Richards' beautiful home? Yes. I texted Kyle. I was like, listen, I'm so sorry. Andrew's out of town. My nanny was sick. I couldn't finagle it. I was there in spirit. Did I see Countess Luann on the zip line and get very, very upset that I wasn't there to witness it myself? Yes. And Kyle is like so fucking cool. Kyle is the only housewife I would even like wrap my head around hanging with. And I've hung out with Kyle. She's fucking awesome. She's like on a different level though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be like hanging. I don't need to be like doing the thing. And that's not true. I've met a bunch of them. I feel like Beverly Hills. Oh God. No, see, now I'm backpedaling. No, I've met a lot of housewives that are fucking incredible. Okay. That I fuck with hard. Kyle is like the one that I fuck with for sure. For sure. See, now I'm like, oh my God, what am I? But like, I'm not in the mix like that. Okay. Now I'm getting nervous and I'm sweating. I'm not in the mix like that. I'm not in the mix like that. I'm not in the mix like that. The moral of that story is that I am hydrated and content. But did I want to see Countess Luann in a jumpsuit on a zip line? Yes, desperately so. Desperately so. But like, the thought of me doing anything on a weekday is like so crazy. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that's like me being like 365 party girl at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. Okay. So invited. Yes. There. No, I was home watching. What was I watching? I don't know. Something, just like eating a chicken piccata, living my life. Rise and grind. Okay. This is incredible. So allegedly, Hermes is stalking potential Birkin bag clientele by like driving by homes or like assessing property values to see if the client is prestigious enough. So I would just like to say this, okay, because obviously we all know the lore of Heather and I flying to Paris trying to get leather appointments because we are sad, broken individuals that wanted to win. And we didn't. We came home, you know, we didn't have Birkin bags, but we have memories and acid reflux that will last a lifetime. So I guess what Hermes is doing is that if you put an offer in and you want to get a leather appointment, they search your address just to see like if your home or your real estate portfolio is on par with the Hermes brand, which is hilarious. Now, I don't know if they're doing like a Google Earth search or if they're doing like a physical drive-by, like, because what if you bought a piece of property, but then you've flipped it and now it's worth more? Like maybe you need to roll through in an orange Sprinter van with blackout windows and like Hermes scarves wrapped around their heads and they need to do a little look-see-loo. Here's what I will say. If anyone is investigating me for a leather appointment, like my interiors are beyond. Okay. The materials, I have custom doorknobs in this house. So like just factor that in. Beautiful European white oak floors, herringbone, like the woodwork, all these beautiful door frames. I have custom air vents. So I would just like, I'd like to put that out there. And also, if they're looking at the backyard and they see my mosaic dolphins, I'm fucking out. Okay. I'm out of the running. I won't get offered a dust bag by Hermes, but I have some really important information that I'd like to share. Everybody, drum roll, please. I have been waiting so many years to say this. Okay. And I'm putting it out into the universe because I really want to go through with it. Andrew and I had a long talk recently about renovating the backyard. Now, Andrew is a fiscal prince who like thinks the world is ending and that we're both going to get fired. And he just like operates from a deficit. And I live in abundance. So I have decided that we will be renovating our backyard in 2 phases. We are going to PTL. We're going to do the whole deck because we kind of have like 2 levels to our yard. One is just like a massive grass area, massive air mass, massive. Ah! So stupid. I'm such a dumb bitch. Like, what a fucking idiot. Like, I am a low down rat loser. Anyways, what we're going to do is we are going to move the retaining wall 10 feet back. We are going to extend our pool deck, okay? And we're going to rip that bitch out. We're redoing the pool. We're redoing all the deck, okay? Landscaping. We're going to build like an outdoor in our bar area, like our wet bar in our house. We have a bifold window that fully opens up to the backyard. So I'm going to build a bar top outside so that the bar is functional indoor, outdoor. And I'm going to use like a honed green marble, like beautiful, like mitered edge bar with custom outdoor bar stools and like different outdoor fabrics. Get the fuck out of here with an awning. And I'm going like Montecito, like I want it to look like a hotel, okay? Like beautiful loungers, like interesting materials. We're going to do an outdoor fireplace, like sitting area with like gorgeous outdoor furniture. Like we are popping the fuck off. And I'm looking to start next month. So I'm meeting with a contractor. I have my renderings. I'm meeting with like a landscape designer because I really don't want to fuck this up. Like I have been, oh my God. Okay. Everyone hold your vaginas. Are they damp? Yes. I have been exploring. What is it called? Waterline pool tile? Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to get crazy? I think so. Like, am I going to source vintage tiles? I don't know. Like, I'm thinking travertine, like for decking. Like, I'm thinking like, I don't want it to be gray. This is what I'm worried about. Okay. Let me just like air my grievances here. I don't want anything to read farmhouse, sterile, builder grade. Like AstroTurf for me is the devil. Okay. I would rather have carcasses of my loved ones, of friends and family, okay, as landscaping than AstroTurf. I am very anti-AstroTurf. I don't care if the nicest AstroTurf, it's hot, it's plastic, it's not lush, it's not natural. The color is wrong. Like I don't care if it's the most high-end AstroTurf. I don't care. We're not doing AstroTurf under any circumstances. I want it to be both like not rustic. I want it to be like warm and traditional, but also like high design. You know what I mean? And I think I'm going to do that through materials like waterline tile. I'm thinking like limestone or travertine. I want like a creamy stone. I don't want anything gray. So I need it to be like a beautiful off-white beige, like, but like rough and like beautiful, like high manicured planters, like around the house. I'm also going to add some, I'm going to it's already been recited, but I'm going to add some like distressed brick detail on the backside, like a half wall, just so that it looks like a little bit more worn and a little less new. Like I have visions, okay? And I'm going to take you along for the ride. The outdoor fireplace, like I want to be like really mindful of materials and like classic and you know, get fun with throw pillows. Yes. Okay. Wait, also just sharp, right? Now that I identify as a Chinese baddie, can I tell you, like the second that I said that after last week's episode, there was the sweetest, like petite little Asian person who is calling me. Okay. You know what? I have a bone to pick with SiriusXM. Okay. My trial membership of SiriusXM is in my new car is like coming to an end in 2 weeks, and I'm obviously going to renew. But the magnitude of the SiriusXM cold calls, like they call me 10 times a day, and it makes me want to not get SiriusXM because of the magnitude of their cold calling. Like get it together. I'm going to renew. I've been a Sirius XM patron for my entire life. It is my main form of audio content, but you got to stop. Ugh, what was I talking about? Oh, the sweet little Asian woman. Right after last week's episode where I'm like, I am a Chinese baddie. I am like leaning into the rhythm of my chi. Okay. I'm connecting to my roots. The sweetest little Asian woman. Okay. Like Polly Pocket. Okay. I want to wrap her up in a wonton and put her in a soup. Warm, because we're warming. We're only ingesting warm food, warm liquids. The sweetest little Asian woman, okay, in a large crossbody bag that could have taken her out. Okay, I don't know gravitationally how she carried such a bag. And she was wearing a little Bermuda shorts with like a little pointail long sleeve t-shirt, some high athletic like SPF socks, and a sensible orthopedic Velcro shoe, okay, with the widest brim hat that you've ever seen, okay, like an orbit to protect her beautiful little face, okay, with a blunt bang. We're not going to get into my theory about blunt bangs because I cannot disrespect my elders like this, my ancestral elders, but she had a very blunt bang, okay? And for those of you who don't know the lore of the Bitch Bible blunt bang, most women who have a blunt bang are doing regular anal. And that's just a fact. You heard it here first. So she comes to the door, okay, with her wide brim hat and her sensible like lob, and she knocks. This is right after recording. And I run to the door because I'm like, oh my God, this is like a cosmic situation. She wants to say welcome. She's going to nuzzle me in her breast and like feed me warm green tea or something, okay? I open the door. She doesn't speak a lick of English. So already we're off to a great start. And she goes into her crossbody bag and she hands me a Shenyun, a Shenyun pamphlet. And then she does a little bow. And without even hesitating, I clasp my hands together. I did a little bow. I fought the urge to say hashaimose because that's Japanese and I'm a Chinese baddie. You know, eventually we'll make it to Japan, but right now I'm just in my Chinese baddie era. And I said, thank you so much. And then she just shuffled down the driveway, and it took every bone in my body not to tackle her to the ground and kiss her. Okay. Because she was so fucking cute. She looked like a little nesting doll. Like she had 4 more miniature versions of herself inside herself. I can't explain these things, okay? And I took the Shenyun pamphlet and I thought to myself, what is Shenyun? And who is heading their marketing department? Not SiriusXM. They're doing a damn good job at Shenyun. I don't know what Shenyun is. Is it Shenyun or Shenyun? Okay, this is a woke podcast that's inclusive and worldly. What is information is power? What is Shenyun? They've got so many billboards, okay? It looks like a high price operation. Okay. Shenyun is a New York-based nonprofit performing arts company that showcases 5,000 years of traditional Chinese culture through classical Chinese dance music and high-tech animated backdrops, okay? It features classical Chinese dance, ethnic and folk dance, and a unique orchestra blending Eastern and Western instruments. The performance, translated as The Beauty of Divine Beings Dancing, aims to bring ancient culture to life with vibrant costumes and digital interactive backdrops. This feels oddly similar to my 1998 multicultural performance at my primarily Caucasian elementary school. If you went to the Dim the Lights tour, first of all, you're welcome. Secondly, those who didn't go, feel bad for you. You missed out on a lot of trauma bonding. I did a dance that is probably Shenyun adjacent, but all you got to know is that there was a Mulan costume involved and it's not great. It's not great. But anywho, I feel like I want to take Clyde to Shenyun. Like I want to participate in Shenyun. She wants to be one with Shenyun because I am leaning in hard. I feel like the new year is just around the corner and we will be doing a Chinese New Year spectacular episode in honor of the horse. So something to look forward to. Wait, oh my God, how is it taking me this long? We have to talk about Victoria Beckham. Okay, so last week, conveniently right after I recorded my episode and had my interaction with my Shenyun queen, Brooklyn Beckham drops a drama-filled carousel, kind of explaining the current state with him and his family. He is very pro Nicola. He says that basically Victoria Beckham was supposed to do her dress and pulled out right beforehand, hijacked their first dance and danced inappropriately on him. He's never been more mortified in his life. Spent an afternoon at our house, okay? Me and Clyde do this little thing called movie star kisses, and you can just close your eyes and picture it. So grow up, Brooklyn. Then he says that the Beckhams are, you know, more protective of their brand than actual family dynamics, and basically are like this performative machine, and have disrespected him, his wife, etc., etc. Now, as a mother, I cannot even imagine. First of all, Clyde, let's start drafting your carousel because you're going to need one. And I've got some footage I can contribute to it. But the thought of a son writing something like that so publicly, so permanently is devastating. Secondly, Nicola has dark energy, okay? Something is not blinking behind those eyes. Now, everyone's coming forward kind of mostly in support of Victoria Beckham. Also, just like the meme culture, we really needed it last week. It is so heavy in the world right now. And if it makes us feel better to make a meme of like Nomi Malone showgirls saying like Victoria Beckham at Brooklyn's wedding, which, by the way, if you think I'm not going full Nomi Malone with hair crystals and like a mesh bodysuit at Clyde's wedding, you're dead ass wrong. I'm going to be doing like a Pussycat Doll medley. Don't ya, buttons, like whatever. I can't think of any more Pussycat Doll songs, but I'm going full Nicole Scherzinger at Clyde's wedding. So get ready for it. And like people are saying, you know, if you look at footage of Posh Spice, Victoria Beckham, Justice for Victoria, dancing just in general, she's a spice girl. She's got spicy moves. Like the thought that she's dancing inappropriately on her son at their wedding feels like a bit of a reach. That feels like parental alienation, but from a spouse, not like another parent. You know what I mean? I feel like Nicola is offering him like a get out of jail free card because she comes from such a rich family. So like now she's kind of like warped his whole perspective on his own family, and because he doesn't need them financially because he has her, he is like whipped with a capital W. It took me a second to think about the first letter of whipped. I was like, is it a Y or is it an H or is it a W? It's hard being a genius. It's really sad, but it's also like low-key kind of funny. Like in the state of the world of people are just being like shot in the streets. You know, him being upset at his family for a myriad of reasons. Also, wait. Fact number one. Okay. They say that she pulled out of making Nicola her wedding dress, where it is well documented. Okay. A Vogue article of Nicola going to Rome, having Valentino do her wedding dress. I'm pretty sure Valentino didn't hop over to Joann's and make her a last minute bead encrusted, hand sewn, wedding gown. Now people are saying, well, maybe she was going to wear Victoria Beckham to the reception and Valentino for the ceremony, whatever. I don't fucking buy it. I'm sorry. If it smells like a rat, give it some cheese. That is the theme of this week's episode. It feels like such a reach. I do feel like down the line, when Brooklyn has a little grit in his life, like actually understands the real world and some perspective, and, you know, finally figures out how to nail that marinara sauce because he's a chef, LOL, that he, you know, later maybe in life, if him and Nicola hit some rough patches, he will come back and he will zoom out and see kind of with clear optics his situation. But it's very sad, and I stand with Victoria. I mean, listen, I don't know. I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine. I am going to be, first of all, Clyde will never be able to replace me. Like, Godspeed to the woman that has to live in my shadow because you have huge, huge shoes to fill. Secondly, like, I would always be, you got to keep your enemies close. Okay. So when Clyde unfortunately marries a woman, because I think that the homosexual ship has sailed, like trying so desperately, but nature versus nurture, I don't know what to do at this point. I've tried everything and he's giving pretty hardcore heterosexual energy. But when he does meet a wife, and her name is Jackie, and she looks just like me, and it's me. But when he does take a wife, like, I will be so nice to that woman. Like, I will kill her with kindness. I will go full Jane Fonda in Monster-in-Law behind the scenes, but to her face, like, me and Clyde will present a united front. We are one, and I will kill that bitch with kindness, okay? Because I want to keep her close, because psychological warfare, I've got marionette lines on both of those bitches moving forward, okay? But they won't know it because I'm so loco en la cabeza that, like, I will be running game on both of them. They won't even know it. Also, just like to purge my soul, I have 2 bitchy things that I would like to say. I actually have 3 bitchy things I'd like to say. People need to stop trying to be funny on the internet. Like, be yourself. Not everyone is a hoot and a half. And I think it's really, really important to close your eyes, and you can only be in one of 2 groups. Red Rover. Send this dumb bitch right over. Close your eyes and think about this. There are funny people and they're not funny people. Okay. And at the end of the day, you have to pick a team. So if you're just not a funny person, let's stop pretending that you are, and let's stop trying to work that muscle, because it's not happening. Let the clowns clown, and let the swipe to shop girls swipe. You know what I mean? But let's not blur those lines, because not everyone's funny. In fact, dare I say, most people aren't funny on the internet. And it's time that we just start acknowledging it and moving forward. Okay. So you close your eyes and you think realistically, okay, are you a funny person or are you not a funny person? And let's just operate in that vessel. Okay. Because it's hard. It's getting to be hard to watch. Okay. Second thing, when people come on Instagram and say that they feel pressured to post, but they've needed to recalibrate and they're just taking some time and it's really hard. Like, I feel so much pressure to post. Do you see what's going on in the world? Okay. Like, your need to push content on the Richter scale is a -17. Not one person cares. Okay. I mean, let's name the puppy. Chrissy Teigen, love you like a sister. We don't need to hear the saga of you feeling pressure to post. Like, go tend to your fake olive tree. Something that's blown my brain apart. I was watching an Architectural Digest tour of Chrissy Teigen and John Legend's home, and which is beautiful, by the way. And they have a massive fake olive tree in the middle of their home, which is gorgeous, by the way. But I guess it was real, and then it died and it was making a mess. So they took a huge fake olive tree and then they put it in the ground and like covered it with dirt, which feels like I wouldn't be able to get over that. If that was in my home, I would have a lot of issues. Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that there was a fraudulent olive tree. Now, with that said, I've been thinking a lot about my backyard. Okay. And I'm really trying to do integrated planters within the limestone decking, because having a planter up against the house feels like a potential water damage situation. But if I could integrate built in, I need to start doing drugs yesterday. I am looking to get into some type of a recreational drug use. I don't know if it's like a midweek mushroom or whatever, but I feel like if I could just start microdosing mushrooms and like go to a tile store and just roll around and like start talking to stones and petting pretty bird, that I could do beautiful things. Like, I could really pop off the fucking pages. Just a side note. Third bitchy thing. What was I just complaining about? Here's what I hate about Andrew. And this is something that, like, I screamed at him for, okay? I'm a little menstrual. However, Every time we leave the house, it does not matter if we are going on a road trip for 2 hours, because I'm not going to be in the car more than 2 hours. Like, what is this? The Oregon Trail? It doesn't matter if we're in the car for 2 hours or quite literally 2 minutes. Andrew and I go to our oyster. I gotta just hold on. I gotta work the muscles. Come on. Andrew and I go to our tried and true oyster bar every single Sunday. Okay, it is 2 minutes from our house. Every single time we get in the car, Andrew grabs a Spindrift. He needs to have a carbonated little treat for the road. Every single time we get in the car, Andrew grabs a Spindrift. I said, Andrew, in what world do you need a carbonated beverage to drive 2 minutes when we're about to go have lunch and you can order a carbonated beverage? He's like, I swear to God, I never wanted to like choke him out more. He goes, I don't know. There's something nice about having a beverage or having a cold drink in the car on the way to a restaurant. And I said, what? He's like, I don't know. It's just part of my routine. I said, Andrew, okay, if every time you get in the car, you need a new Spindrift, you're averaging 6 Spindrifts a day. Okay. A 6-pack of Spindrift is about $7.99. So on average, you're spending $8 a day, which is about $240 a month on a sweet little sparkling beverage for your bare minimum commutes. This isn't even fiscally responsible. Okay. He's like, I always finish it when I get back in the car. I said, I don't care. I think it's weird. It's like a weird little Rain Man tick. I'm like, you're weird. He's like, it's not weird. I'm like, it is categorically fucking weird. A lime Spindrift. Like, I'm very triggered by Spindrift. I don't know why. I do know exactly why. I knew exactly why. I went to a barbecue 2.5 years ago. I'll never stop talking about it. Everyone in my life knows about this barbecue. I went to this barbecue, okay, and I'll spare you details, but there was a bunch of women, okay, young moms, and they're all sitting around the pool, and the dudes are watching football, and Andrew dragged me against my will. And we're all sitting outside under the misters, which is a whole other conversation. And the kids are playing in the pool. And it was kind of like a mommy group thing that I don't really like hang out with any of these women. We were just it was a situational thing. And all the kids are around the same age and they're playing. And I'm like, Andrew's like works with one of the guys. So we're doing the thing. And these women spent no less than 10 minutes talking about Spindrift because that was all that they were serving at this barbecue. And I was like, who do I have to fuck around here to suck the vodka out of a sponge? Like, it is a weekend. It's 5:00. We're all young, normal people with small children. Could a girl get a brewski around here? And the host of the party had just found fruit punch Spindrifts, okay? And she brings them out. She goes, does anyone want a Spindrift? And everyone's like, sure, I love Spindrift. And then they proceed to go around the table and talk about the new flavors they heard about that Spindrift is coming out with. And, ooh, I love the grapefruit Spindrift. Have you tried the lime Spindrift? Sometimes I take the lime Spindrift and put a little pomegranate juice in it. The pamplemousse Spindrift. I didn't know what that was. At first, I thought it was grapefruit, but then I found out it's passion fruit. Have you tried the passion fruit Spindrift? Sometimes I put the passion fruit Spindrift over a little bit of ice, and then I put some fresh passion fruit juice. It's so good. And I'm like, these bitches, like, do you know what this is doing to my serotonin levels? Like, I want to drown you fucking cunts in a Spindrift. Spindrift! This episode is sponsored by Spindrift. On that note, I'm going to go dodge cars in oncoming traffic. I hope everyone has as good of a week as you can possibly have. Take care of yourself, disassociate, have a cocktail, watch your stories, deep breathe into a bag, and let's just grind it out. Okay, how about that for a morsel of optimism? I'm not great at navigating these waters. And when all else fails, buy a ticket to Shenyun. Thank you so much for listening. Give us 5 stars on iTunes. I will be back next week, just bleeding out for the craft. Love you all. Stay safe. Goodbye. Hashaimose.